Good news. I'm feeling much better. The I guess because I like went 3 or 4 days and experienced partial withdrawal from the amlodipine. Um, this last time, I haven't had a dose since 3:30 a.m. Friday morning. It's now 6:30 Monday. 6:30 p.m. Monday. So let's see, that's Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday. So it's been 3.5 days, and I had some pretty ugly withdrawal 2 days ago. It was Saturday, and I took Sunday off, and then I went ahead and took today off. The withdrawal was still pretty bad yesterday, and withdrawal, it's not like, ooh, like you're fiending, like somebody coming off a narcotic. Withdrawal from a blood pressure medication is ugly. It's deadly, especially when you have a history of cardiac arrest, congestive heart failure, angina, and kidney failure. All complications from cancer. It wasn't organic, it was deliberate. But because of the cancer treatment, most of that is not an issue for me anymore. I haven't had to use nitroglycerin. I've had to use it a couple times since I've been here, but not very often. Um, so today I have very, very mild chest pressure. That's it. Tomorrow it will probably be completely gone. Um, the asshole in the little silver car that likes to drive by, she now has to have her boyfriend with her. She knows she's a target of a criminal investigation. She knows that because somebody, Saturday, I was flying a sign out at Market 32. Somebody drove by and they just had their window cracked and they said, your friend with the silver car's coming. About 3 minutes out. So I waited about two minutes, jumped off. She was actually closer than that. And I wanted to film her coming in, making that right-hand turn lane that they have into Market 32 coming off Shelburne. She wasn't in the right-hand turn lane. She was stuck in the, she knew she was going to get filmed. So she was just going to drive past Shelburne and scream from Shelburne instead of going in and making a U-turn in the Market 32 and Sierra and TJ Maxx parking lot. Because she didn't want her car getting filmed. She was going to drive behind me basically and scream. Because I couldn't figure out why they gave me a heads up. And then I understood why, because they realized I wouldn't see it. They realized she was going to go behind me because she knew I was going to film her ass. Guess what, bitch? You got filmed anyway. There's flock cameras at every fucking light. So if anybody runs the light, they get that the camera takes a picture of it, of their license plate, and they get a ticket in the mail, you dumb fucks. How the fuck do you think they know where I'm at to tell you where to go? How the fuck do you think the state police and Cousy and the sheriff's undercovers knew how far? They weren't completely accurate, but who could be? Because that clusterfuck right there at those intersections, whether it's Farrell Street or the light there where you can either go the light that's at both entrances of Shaw's and Market 32, or the next light, or you can't, it's hard to guess those because idiots will clog the thing and then nobody gets to go anywhere. So but they still were they were close within 30 seconds. They were only about 30 or 40 seconds off. So guess what? That means they're on your ass, bitch. Well, since they're on your ass, I'm carrying my mace with me. You drive past me, and here's the thing. The bitch knows she's going to get maced. That's why she'll sit there for 3 or 4 minutes waiting for the light with her window up, won't say shit, waits for the light to turn, then she puts her window down and starts running her mouth once she's past me almost. She won't have she don't want me filming her ass. Guess what? It's going to happen anyway. I got your license plate number now and a damn good look at your little piece of shit that you're driving. But that ain't enough for me. I want a fucking photograph and I want a video for the restraining order. That's the only reason why I haven't worked on the relief from abuse and I'm going to type up an email to Officer View, since he was already asking questions and knew the shit didn't make no sense anyway. I'm going to let him know in full detail and give him some recordings to show him, including the recorded police report with SBPD after Economic Services sent me to the police, and that recording proves that the police know Economic Services sent me. Because I'm on record telling them, look, here's the caseworkers at Economic Services wrote their names down on a Post-it note, so I could tell police who sent me. And you better believe Hochul's independent investigation in the state police got that video from inside the police department that shows that yellow sticky note on top of that awards letter. But anyway, I'm going to be carrying my mace after that restraining order's filed. If the bitch does a drive-by running her mouth, and she thought, when I kept saying, so you work for Dershowitz, you work for Epstein's defense attorneys, Dershowitz, they never denied it. They justified it. And there was a bunch of people watching the whole thing with their windows down. They heard the whole fucking thing. Guess what? All their license plates numbers are on the flock cameras. Every fucking one of them can be called as a witness. Y'all are some stupid motherfuckers. And since you confess so easily, I'm going to keep going back out there and getting your confessions. It's great fodder for this restraining order, because the more you confess to what you're doing and and the lawyers you work for, including Judge Hoare, that puts that judge in a real precarious position. Even if it does get passed off to a corrupt judge, even if Safreech is fucking corrupt, it puts a hell of a lot of pressure on her if she doesn't report everybody for running a fraud. I mean, she can't charge them with running a fraud on her court that I know of. I would think that she could. I would think that she could charge them, because that affidavit that Caton swore out, she lied. That's perjury. I would think the court could absolutely charge her with that. Of course, that's what the overview about the Vermont statute says. That's likely what she would be charged with. They would be charged with perjury and lying to the police and impersonating government agents or government officials, whatever the hell they call it. So now that I'm pretty much symptom free, that frees me up, folks. That's extremely good news. That is a complete game changer. That amlodipine is really the only reason why I was considering leaving Vermont. Yes, it's a fucking cesspool here. Their Nazi policies during the scamdemic was probably worse than anywhere else in the country. Holding everybody hostage at a motherfucking homeless shelter because their own fucking PIs like Daryl Galloway got COVID. Or supposedly tested positive. Now we know that over 90% of the tests were inaccurate. and you threaten homeless people's beds if they don't want to stay there, if they didn't agree to stay on property 24/7.